When Prince Siddhartha turned 16, his life seemed to step into a chapter of pure joy and promise. Kapilavastu was alive with celebration. The young prince was to marry his cousin, the graceful and wise Princess Yashodhara, daughter of King Dandapani of the Kolia clan. The two shared not only royal blood, but even the same birthday, as if fate itself had joined their paths. To find a worthy husband for his daughter, King Dandapani announced a grand competition, a magnificent royal event where princes from across neighboring kingdoms arrived to showcase their strength and skill. The fields of Devdaha echoed with the sounds of galloping horses, clanking weapons, and cheering crowds. Every prince sought to impress the king and win the hand of Princess Yashodhara. Among all the excited warriors showing off their strength, Siddhartha stood out, not because of arrogance or show off, but because of his peaceful and gentle presence. When asked to tame a wild horse, he didn't raise a whip or shout. He simply approached it gently, speaking in a soothing voice. The animal soon calmed and bowed its head. The crowd was amazed, and from her seat, Yashodhara felt her heart move. Here was a prince who conquered not with power, but with compassion. Then came the test of archery. In front of the contestants rested a mighty bow, so huge and heavy that no other prince had managed to even lift it. When Siddhartha's turn arrived, he picked it up effortlessly, his movement calm and unhurried. He drew the string and with one steady motion released the arrow. It flew so far, it struck a distant tree, where, it said, a spring of water began to flow, later called the well of the arrow. King Dandapani rose proudly and declared, "No one is more worthy of my daughter than Prince Siddhartha of Kapilavastu." Their wedding was a sight to behold. The scent of jasmine filled the air, music echoed through the palace halls, and golden lamps lined the streets. The people rejoiced, certain their beloved prince had found both love and happiness. Siddhartha and Yashodhara, barely 16, stood together beneath a canopy of flowers, radiant with youthful grace, beginning a bond built on tenderness, trust, and quiet understanding. King Suddhodana, Siddhartha's father, was overjoyed. He believed that marriage would anchor his son to the duties of kingship and worldly life, keeping him far from any thoughts of renunciation. To make sure his son never experienced sorrow or discomfort, he ordered the construction of 3 magnificent palaces, one for summer, one for winter, and one for the rainy season. These palaces were adorned with marble floors, lotus ponds, and fragrant gardens filled with blooming flowers. Skilled musicians played day and night, and graceful dancers filled the air with beauty and joy. Only the young, healthy, and cheerful were allowed inside. No sight of suffering, sickness, or aging was ever permitted near the prince. And so, Siddhartha and Yashodhara lived surrounded by music, beauty, and laughter. Yashodhara's wisdom and kindness matched Siddhartha's gentle nature perfectly. They walked through moonlit gardens and shared gentle moments together. Yet, Even amid all this perfection, Siddhartha sometimes felt a quiet unease, a question rising deep within. Is this all what life is truly about? He had everything one could dream of, and yet his eyes often drifted beyond the palace walls, as if searching for something unseen. 13 peaceful years passed. When Siddhartha was 29, joy once again filled the palace. Yashodhara had given birth to a son. The kingdom celebrated, believing fatherhood would finally tie the prince firmly to the worldly life. But when Siddhartha heard the news, he smiled softly and whispered, "A fetter has been born." His words puzzled those around him. Yet they were spoken not with sadness, but with deep understanding. He saw in this new bond of love both the beauty and the weight of attachment, the ties that connect all beings to the endless cycle of joy and sorrow. That night, as moonlight filled the palace, Siddhartha walked to Yashodhara's chamber. Through the half-open door, he saw her sleeping beside their newborn. The soft glow of the lamp lit their peaceful faces. His heart swelled with love, yet he did not enter. Something within him told him that one touch, one glance, could bind him forever to the comforts and attachments he was beginning to question. So he simply stood there, gazing at the two people he loved most in the world. Then he turned away, his heart full of both love and longing for something beyond. Something was awakening within him, a call, gentle, yet impossible to ignore. The marriage of Siddhartha and Yashodhara was more than a royal union. It was the meeting of two souls, one rooted in love, the other awakening to truth. Yashodhara's devotion and Siddhartha's quest remind us that sometimes love must learn to let go, not out of indifference, but out of compassion vast enough to embrace the whole world. Beyond the palace walls, destiny waited, ready to change everything. Explore the incredible life of Siddhartha Gautama, the prince who became the Buddha. This book brings you his story, his teachings, and real-life lessons filled with timeless wisdom. It's easy to follow and deeply inspiring. Get your copy now. Just click the link in the description or in the pinned comment below.